Sometimes it feels like every website or app that I ever work on eventually develops the same problem. It all starts reasonably enough with a few focused pages and features, but then the requests start to come in, and everything apparently is important. You get a homepage trying to please 14 different departments, navigational labels negotiated by committee, and an interface that gives the refund policy the same prominence as whatever it is that the user came for in the first place. Which is, if you think about it, an absolutely ridiculous way to design things for people. This is why I've relied on top task analysis for years. It identifies the tasks, the questions, and the features that the audience values the most and forces people to prioritize rather than simply saying whether they like their idea or not. That distinction really matters because people can want all kinds of things in theory. If you ask whether a feature sounds useful, most people are going to say yes. There's no cost to wanting it, and nobody is asking them to give up anything. But when people have to choose the 5 tasks that they value the most and rank those choices, a much smaller set of tasks usually rises to the top. Those top tasks give you an evidence-based foundation for deciding what should appear prominently on your landing page, what feature deserves attention in your app, and how website information architecture should be organized. What belongs on a dashboard, or which stakeholder requests you can safely ignore because nobody really cares about them. Now, it won't solve all of your political conversations, sadly, but our users have ranked this above this is considerably stronger than I feel that this button should be bigger. The problem with a normal survey is it can leave you with a long list of things that users say they want. You've discovered 47 things that your audience cares about, and somehow that's just made the problem worse, not better. Top task analysis adds the missing prioritization. Participants choose the 5 tasks that matter the most, and they rank those choices. So instead of a pile of individually reasonable requests, you get a much clearer picture of their relative importance. And this works across all kinds of digital products. So for example, on an e-commerce site, the top tasks might involve checking delivery charges, tracking an order, or arranging a return. While on a marketing site, it might include pricing, comparing options, or finding evidence that the product actually works. And in an application, it might be that handful of features that people use every day. Once you know what sits at the top, you can design around those priorities and then fit the smaller tasks around them. And that's a far more reasonable starting point than trying to give everything equal prominence and hoping users enjoy the treasure hunt. Now, although top task analysis is valuable, running one in the past has involved a lot of slightly awkward combinations of survey tools, spreadsheets, and manual cleanup. I've spent enough time in my life looking into spreadsheets, so I decided to build a dedicated top task analysis app instead. Now, the app is completely free, and I intend to keep it that way because I've worked in the industry long enough to remember that not everything needs to be some kind of money-making scheme. You could create a survey, you can add some sample tasks, and you can share it with your audience. Participants select the 5 most important tasks to them, or they can add missing options and allow other people to choose those as well. And then after all that, people prioritize their selections. The admin area shows you which tasks matter the most, and you can compare the priorities of different audience groups. You can also rename, merge, or remove responses while cleaning up the results rather than performing spreadsheet surgery and hoping that you haven't accidentally deleted Western Europe. The audience comparison is particularly useful because different audiences care about different things. A new customer might want to focus on pricing and reassurance, while an existing customer is more interested in support and account management. Treating them as one audience can hide these differences, but segmenting the results make it much easier to see them. The app will collect and organize the evidence, but it won't make the decisions for you. You still need to interpret the results, balance competing needs, and make sensible design choices. And in my view, that's a good thing. We have far too many tools claiming to replace our judgment while producing a dashboard that nobody will actually read. Top task analysis gives your judgment a solid start to be based on. It replaces a surprising amount of guesswork with direct evidence about what your audience came to do, and it makes prioritization conversations so much easier. So, if your website or app has reached the point where everything is fighting for attention, why not give it a go? You'll find the links in the description to a full article which explains the step-by-step process and to the free Top Task Analysis app so you can create your own survey. And once you've tried it, I'll genuinely appreciate your feedback. Tell me where you've used it, how it fits into your work, what felt confusing, and which features you feel are missing would be really useful. A lot more useful than just some polite applause.